so in love with you.
Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is gonna be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, and we will continue to get massive rate hikes that will continue to shock residential mortgage rate pricing and increase potential homebuyers' mortgage payments. Now, what does all that mean? It essentially means that that is continued pressure that will be put on prices and values of homes in the months and possibly years to come. And just imagine for a second how dark the housing market is really going to get in 2023, except for those of us who continue to prepare, like us, like me, like my viewers that are sitting on the sideline, preparing, empowering themselves so that when the housing market does shift, when pricing value does collapse, we're going to be there to swoop up those homes as our primary residence and get great deals and deals of our lifetimes. Now, what we're going to do today is we're going to deep dive into an article, a very brief article from Zillow that's titled Mortgage Rates Rise on Robust Economic Activity. Now, you guys do me a favor. You know I'm not a financial advisor, even if I want to be, even though my bio is as a realtor, loan officer, and instructor in all things real estate in Texas. And if you guys can understand, it is my personal YouTube channel. Please, for the efforts, like the video, subscribe if you haven't, shoot me a comment below. Let's get started unpacking this article right now. And again, guys, this is going to be a brief read. And I'm liking that actually Zillow is keeping it brief, quite frankly, because of their horrible forecasting. So let's read what this says. Mortgage rates continue to rise last week. While inflation measures are improving, the rate of inflation is still well above the Federal Reserve's long-time targets. Data releases last week showed that economic activity is still robust and labor markets continue to be very tight, with Fed officials all indicating a commitment to containing inflation as the main goal in the near term. Markets have adjusted expectations to account for further significant increases in the Fed funds rate. Investors are pricing in a higher probability of a 75 basis point rate hike at the Fed's September meeting and a likely higher terminal rate, driving up interest rates in treasuries and mortgage-backed securities. Markets will be focused on unemployment data releases later this week and what implications those results may have on the direction of rates. So do you guys see my point with how Zillow is kind of just reporting the news now instead of forecasting, because everyone knows that that has been getting not only them in trouble, but a lot of people that leaned on Zillow to give them proper forecasting on the direction of the housing market. Now, here's what I think. I think the Federal Reserve is going to raise the federal funds rate 75 basis points, but that's not all, you guys. Remember that also they plan on doubling their asset selling program to roughly $95 billion this month. So obviously selling mortgage-backed securities is going to continue to put pressure on interest rates to go up. So I could really see interest rates going up for the remaining part of the year. Maybe not every week, but trajectory going up. But here's the thing, you guys, we don't have to guess. Just listen to what Jerome Powell just said last week, what the Federal Reserve's commitment is to control inflation. Listen to what he has to say.
And softer labor market conditions will bring down inflation. They will also bring some pain to households and businesses.
So he's saying softening labor market, which means that the unemployment rate is going to go up. And we're probably going to see that within 3 to 6 months really get out of control. But not only that, they are essentially saying that they're going to continue the tightening. So I suspect that this year we will have interest rates and some home buyers that get interest rates in the 7%. But again, you guys, I don't view that as bad news. I view that as actually good news because it's going to continue to put pressure on home prices and the housing market resetting. But what's really going to be important is for us to keep our eyes on the Federal Reserve and try to figure out what actions that they will continue to take to get inflation under control. And we really want to make sure that they don't pivot too soon, which essentially looks like what happened in July. July was a little bit of a catastrophe, in my opinion. If they wouldn't have dropped the rates in July, I believe that we would have more inventory right now, and more inventory right now is needed. So there shouldn't have been a softening in July. There was. I think it messed things up, but regardless, we must watch what they are about to do. Now, here's the good thing, guys. Remember, like me, if you're on the sidelines, we have work to do. The number one thing you need to do if you're on the sidelines is stay encouraged. But not only stay encouraged, start monitoring your local housing market in great detail so that you understand what a great deal is and what a great deal isn't. No one's going to understand that as much as you, as long as you're putting in the research and the work. Now, the next thing is work on your credit. Watch your utilization ratio, which applies to your credit cards. Never go over 30% of your credit line and not pay it off before it bills. Once it bills, that's what's reported to the credit bureau. So as long as you have your credit card balances well under 30%, it's going to give you an optimal FICO score increase. A credit score increase every single month. Number two, savings. Make sure to continue to save. One of the best ways to save is understanding how you're spending. That's why I download an app called Mint.com. I get to monitor every single penny that I spend on every single one of my accounts, and that allows me to change how I spend my money. Number three, income. Get another job or get overtime or become an unreplaceable asset at your current employer. But we need to make sure that we are stable. Personally, I have 3 sources of income and I get really burnt out. I get it, but I would rather be burnt out working and making money than burnt out because I'm working just to survive because I have no money. And that brings me to my last thing, you guys. Love your life. Don't freak out. Calm down. Keep your eyes on the prize. Understand that what you're about to do is the biggest financial transaction of your life. So treat it that way, right? And don't let emotions cloud your judgment. Watch the data and let time pass. Now, other than that, you guys, I really hope you got some value from my video. And if you're out there investing in real estate, you know I wish you luck and I hope you win.